She didn't mean to sit on a stranger's lap to escape her ex, but when the man beneath her whispered 6 words that made the entire club go silent, her life split into before and after. Kira saw her ex the second he walked into Lotus Club, and the second he saw her, she knew she was in trouble. Trent stood near the bar, scanning the room like a predator who'd caught a scent. His jaw was tight. His eyes were sharp. He hadn't spotted her yet, but he would. He always did. Kira's chest tightened. Her hands went cold. Her vision narrowed until all she could see was him moving through the crowd. She grabbed Bria's arm. "We need to leave, now." Bria didn't even look back. She was spinning under some guy's arm, laughing too loud to hear anything. Kira turned toward the exit. Blocked. Trent was moving that direction, cutting off her escape. She spun toward the bathroom hallway. A group of girls stood there, taking photos, completely blocking the narrow corridor. Her heart slammed against her ribs. She couldn't breathe. She tasted metal. Her body remembered before her mind did. The grip on her wrist, the voice in her ear, the way he made her feel small. Security was on the other side of the room. Too far. Trent was getting closer. She was trapped. Then she saw him. A man sitting alone in the VIP section. Korean. Sharp suit that probably cost more than her rent. Dark eyes that didn't blink, didn't move, didn't react to anything around him. His fingers rested on the table like he was deciding who to erase next. Everyone around him kept their distance. Even the bottle girls didn't linger. They dropped his drinks and left. He looked dangerous. More dangerous than Trent. But Trent was certain. This man was a gamble. Kira didn't think. She moved. She crossed the floor, heart hammering, legs shaking. The velvet rope was up. The bouncer saw her face, saw Trent behind her and stepped aside. She didn't stop, didn't ask permission. She slipped past 2 men in black suits and dropped onto the stranger's lap like it was the only place left in the world that made sense. He didn't move. He just looked at her, then past her, at Trent, who had frozen 3 feet away. The stranger's hand settled on Kira's waist, firm, steady, warm. "Breathe," he said quietly. His voice was calm. Too calm, like he'd done this 1,000 times before. She tried. Her chest was shaking. She waited for him to push her off, demand an explanation, get angry. He did none of those things. Trent stepped closer, his face twisted with anger. "Kira, get up, now." The stranger's grip tightened just slightly, not painful, protective. "The lady," he said, still looking at Trent, "is exactly where she wants to be." Trent's jaw clenched, his hand twitched. "You don't know who you're messing with." The man tilted his head. His expression didn't change, but something in the air did. The 2 men in black suits moved, silent, fast. They appeared on either side of Trent like shadows forming around a flame. Trent reached for Kira's wrist anyway. The stranger still didn't move, didn't blink. One of the suits stepped forward. Just 1 step. Trent's hand stopped mid-air. The stranger leaned forward slightly. His breath was warm against Kira's ear, but his words were loud enough for Trent to hear. "Touch her again," he whispered, "and I'll break your hands 1 finger at a time." The bass still pounded, the lights still flashed, but every conversation in the VIP section died. Trent looked at the 2 men, then at the stranger, then at Kira. She saw it in his eyes. Trent was afraid. He backed away first slowly like he was testing whether they'd let him leave, then faster. Then he was gone. Kira's hands were shaking. Her eyes burned. She couldn't tell if it was fear or relief. The stranger's hand didn't move from her waist. "Stay," he said softly, "until you're sure he's gone." So she did. And when he looked at her, really looked at her, she realized something that should have terrified her. He'd known exactly who she was running from the moment she sat down. The black card burned in Kira's pocket for 3 days. She pulled it out every few hours, stared at the silver number, put it back. She didn't call. What would she even say? "Thanks for saving me from my psycho ex, mysterious stranger who probably runs the Korean Mafia." Yeah, that'd go well. Besides, Trent hadn't shown up again. Maybe he'd finally gotten the message. Maybe that night at the club was enough to scare him off for good. Maybe she was finally free. She almost believed it. Then her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Her stomach dropped before she even opened it. The message loaded. A photo. Her. Walking into March Diner yesterday, taken from across the street through the window. No words, no caption, just the photo. And a second text right after. Miss you, baby. Kira's hands went numb. The phone slipped from her fingers and clattered onto the break room floor. Whoa, you good? Kent, her manager, stood in the doorway holding a clipboard. Kira couldn't speak, couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Kent picked up her phone, glanced at the screen. His expression changed. Kira, who sent this? My ex, she whispered. Kent's jaw tightened. The one you got the restraining order against? She nodded. I'm calling the cops. No. Kira grabbed the phone back. They won't do anything. They never do. Then what are you gonna do? Good question. Kira pulled out the black card, stared at the number one more time. Then she walked outside into the alley and dialed. It rang once. Kira. Minjun's voice was calm, but she heard something underneath, something sharp. He found me, she said. Her voice cracked. He's been following me. He sent me a photo of, where are you right now? Work. March Diner. Don't move, I'm coming. Minjun, you don't have to. 12 minutes. The line went dead. Kira leaned against the brick wall and slid down to the ground. Her chest was so tight she thought she might pass out. Trent had been watching her, following her, taking pictures, and she hadn't even noticed. 11 minutes later, a black SUV pulled into the alley. The back door opened. Min Jun stepped out. Same sharp suit, same unreadable expression, but his eyes were different this time. Colder. Show me. Kira handed him her phone with shaking hands. Min Jun looked at the photo for exactly 3 seconds. Then he made a call, spoke in rapid Korean. His voice was ice. When he hung up, he looked at her. Pack a bag, you're not going home tonight. What? I can't just... He knows where you live. He knows where you work. He knows your schedule. Min Jun's voice was calm, but every word hit like a hammer. This doesn't stop here, Kira. Men like him don't stop until they take what they want, or until someone makes them. She wanted to argue, wanted to say she could handle this herself, but she couldn't. Where am I supposed to go? Somewhere safe. A hotel? Min Jun's expression softened. Just barely. My place. You'll have your own space, my security, and time to figure out what comes next. I don't even know you. I know, but you know him. Min Jun nodded toward her phone. And you know what he's capable of. Kira looked at the photo again. Miss you, baby. Okay, she whispered. Good. Go inside, finish your shift. Act normal. One of my men will follow you home to pack. Then he'll bring you to me. Why are you doing this? Min Jun looked at her for a long moment. Because I can. Then he got back in the SUV and left. And Kira stood in the alley holding her phone, wondering if she'd just made the best decision of her life, or the worst. The man in the black suit didn't speak. He just followed Kira home in his car, parked outside her building, waited while she packed. She threw clothes into a duffel bag, grabbed her laptop, her textbooks, toothbrush, charger. She didn't know how long she'd be gone, didn't know if she'd ever feel safe here again. When she came back downstairs, the man opened the back door of the SUV without a word. She got in. They drove for 20 minutes, out of her neighborhood, through downtown, into a part of the city she'd only seen in magazines. The SUV pulled into an underground garage beneath a glass tower. The man opened her door, led her to a private elevator, pressed the button for the top floor. The doors opened directly into a penthouse. Kira stepped inside and forgot how to breathe. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the entire city, marble floors so clean she could see her reflection, furniture that looked like it belonged in a museum. This wasn't an apartment. This was a different world. Kira. She turned. Min Jun stood in the hallway. No suit this time, just dark jeans and a plain black shirt. He looked softer, more human. Come on, I'll show you your room. He picked up her bag like it weighed nothing and led her down a hallway. He opened a door to a bedroom that was bigger than her entire studio apartment. King-sized bed, Attached bathroom, a desk by the window with a view that probably cost more per month than she made in a year. "This is too much," Kira said quietly. "It's a room. It's a palace." Min-jun set her bag down on the bed. "Bathrooms through there, kitchen's down the hall. Help yourself to anything. If you need something and you don't see it, text me." He turned to leave. "Min-jun." He stopped. "Why are you really doing this?" His shoulders tensed. For a moment, she thought he wouldn't answer. "My mother," he said quietly, still facing away from her, "had a man like yours. She stayed with him for 15 years, and I was too young and too weak to do anything about it." Kira's throat tightened. "By the time I was old enough to fight back," Min-jun continued, voice flat and cold, "there was nothing left of her to save." He finally turned to look at her. "I can't help her anymore, but I can help you. I'm not your mother. No, you're not." Something flickered in his eyes. "You're still fighting, and I'm not going to let you lose." Before Kira could respond, he walked out and closed the door behind him. She stood alone in the massive bedroom, surrounded by luxury she didn't earn and safety she didn't deserve. And for the first time in 3 years, she cried. Kira woke up to silence. Not the city noise she was used to, not the shouting neighbors or car alarms or sirens, just silence. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she remembered. Min-jun's penthouse, guest room, safety. She got dressed and followed the smell of coffee. Min-jun stood in the kitchen, pouring 2 cups. He was wearing sweatpants and a plain white t-shirt. His hair was slightly messy. He looked normal, almost. "Morning," he said, handing her a cup. "Morning." They stood in silence for a moment. Kira didn't know what to say, didn't know what the rules were here. "I made some calls last night," Min-jun said, breaking the quiet. "About your ex." Kira's stomach tightened. "And?" "He has a record. 2 previous assault charges. Both women dropped the cases before trial." Her chest went cold. "There were others?" "2 that we know of." Min-jun's expression didn't change, but his voice got harder. "Both around your age. Both in relationships with him for 2 to 3 years. Both ended up in the hospital." Kira felt sick. Why didn't anyone stop him? "Same reason you couldn't." Min-jun looked at her. Fear. Shame. A system that protects men like him more than it protects the women they hurt. She hated that he was right. "What are you going to do?" she asked quietly. "I'm going to give him a choice." "What kind of choice?" Min-jun set his coffee down. "Walk away from you permanently, or deal with consequences he won't recover from." "You're going to threaten him." "I'm going to educate him." Kira should have been horrified, should have told him no, should have said this was wrong. But all she felt was relief. What if he doesn't listen? Min-jun's eyes went cold, empty. Then he learns the hard way. Something in his voice told her he wasn't bluffing. "And what do I do while you're handling this?" Kira asked. "You stay here, stay safe, and you let me take care of it. I can't just hide forever." "You're not hiding." Min-jun's voice softened just slightly. "You're regrouping, and when this is over, you go back to your life, stronger, safer, free." Kira wanted to believe him. "You keep saying you'll handle it," she said, "but you won't tell me how, or who you even are." Min-jun was quiet for a long moment. "I'm someone who solves problems," he finally said. "That's not an answer. It's the only one you need right now." Kira stared at him, at this man who'd saved her twice, who'd opened his home to her, who was planning to do God knows what to her ex. "Are you scared of me?" Min-jun asked suddenly. She thought about it, really thought about it. "No," she said honestly. "You should be." "Why?" "Because I'm not a good man, Kira." His voice was quiet, almost sad. "I do bad things to bad people, and I don't lose sleep over it." "Then why help me?" "Because you deserve better than what you've been given." Something in the way he said it made her chest ache. "Are you hungry?" Min-jun asked, changing the subject. Kira blinked. "What?" "Food, breakfast. Are you hungry?" Yeah, I guess. Minjun moved to the fridge, started pulling out eggs, vegetables, rice, kimchi. You cook? Kira asked, genuinely surprised. Every morning. He glanced at her. Sit, I'll make you something. Kira sat at the counter and watched this dangerous, mysterious man crack eggs like it was the most normal thing in the world. And despite everything, she smiled. 3 days passed. Kira didn't hear from Trent, didn't see him, didn't get any more texts. But she didn't leave the penthouse either. Minjun was gone most of the day. Handling business, he said. She didn't ask what kind. But every night he came home, made dinner, sat with her. They didn't talk much, but the silence wasn't uncomfortable. It was safe. On the 4th morning, Kira woke up to voices. She crept into the hallway and listened. Minjun was speaking in Korean. His voice was low, controlled, but she heard the edge underneath. She caught a few words she recognized from Korean dramas Bria used to watch. Finished. Done. Won't come back. Then silence. A door closed. Footsteps. Minjun appeared in the hallway and stopped when he saw her. You're up early, he said. Was that about Trent? Minjun's expression didn't change. Yes. Is he alive? Yes. Unharmed? Mostly. Minjun walked past her toward the kitchen. But he won't bother you again. Kira followed him. What did you do? Minjun poured himself coffee. Didn't look at her. I had a conversation with him. Explained the situation. Showed him evidence of his previous assaults. Introduced him to some people who made it very clear what would happen if he came near you again. What people? People you don't need to meet. Kira's stomach twisted. Did you hurt him? Minjun finally looked at her. Would it matter if I did? She didn't know how to answer that. He's not a victim, Kira, Minjun said quietly. He's a predator, and predators only understand one language. Fear. Exactly. Kira sat down at the counter. Her hands were shaking. So it's over. It's over. She should have felt relieved, should have felt free, but all she felt was empty. What happens now? She asked. You go home, go back to work, go back to your life. Just like that? Just like that, Kira looked at him, really looked at him. This man who'd turned her entire world upside down in less than a week. And what about you? Minjun's expression softened, just barely. What about me? Do I just never see you again? He was quiet for a long moment. Do you want to? The question hung in the air between them. Kira didn't know what she wanted, didn't know if this was smart, didn't know if she was ready for whatever this was, but she knew one thing. Yes, she said quietly. Minjun smiled, small, almost shy. Then have dinner with me, he said. Tomorrow night. No danger, no drama, just us. Like a date? If you want to call it that. Kira's heart was racing. This was insane. He was dangerous. He just threatened her ex. He was involved in things she didn't understand. But he'd also saved her, protected her, treated her like she mattered. Okay, she said. Minjun's smile grew just slightly. Tomorrow, 7, I'll pick you up from your place. My place? You're going home today, remember? Right. Home. Her apartment. Her life. She'd almost forgotten what that felt like. Wear something comfortable, Minjun added. No fancy restaurant, just us. Okay. He finished his coffee, set the cup down, looked at her one more time. You're going to be okay, Kira. And for the first time in 3 years, she believed him. Later that afternoon, the same silent man in the black suit drove her home. Kira stood in her apartment, looking around at her tiny studio. It felt different now, smaller, safer. Or maybe she was different. Her phone buzzed. She tensed. Old habit. But it wasn't Trent. It was Minjun. You home safe? She smiled. Yeah, thank you. For everything. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. See you tomorrow. Kira set her phone down and looked around her apartment again. For the first time in 3 years, she didn't check the locks twice. didn't look out the window for Trent's car, didn't sleep with her phone in her hand. She just breathed. And somewhere deep in her chest, where fear used to live, something else started to grow. Hope. Kira stood in front of her closet for 20 minutes. Every dress she touched had a memory attached. The blue one, Trent said, made her look desperate. The black one he threw across the room during a fight. The yellow one she'd worn on their first date before everything went wrong. She pushed them all aside. In the back, hidden behind clothes she never wore anymore, was a red top. The one Trent had thrown in the trash 2 years ago, calling it cheap. She'd pulled it out that night after he left, washed it, kept it. Kira put it on now. It still fit perfectly. She looked at herself in the mirror. For the first time in years, she recognized the woman staring back. Her phone buzzed. Min Jun. Downstairs. Her heart jumped into her throat. She grabbed her jacket and went down. The black SUV was parked at the curb, but Min Jun wasn't in the back seat this time. He was leaning against the passenger door, waiting. Dark jeans, black leather jacket. His hair looked like he'd run his hands through it, nervous. When he saw her, he straightened and smiled. Not the controlled, careful expression she'd seen before. A real smile, almost shy. "Hi," he said. "Hi." He opened the door for her. She slid in. This time, he drove. The radio played something soft and instrumental. Neither of them spoke at first, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was anticipation. "Where are we going?" Kira finally asked. "Somewhere with a view." "That's specific." His mouth twitched. "You'll like it, I promise." 20 minutes later, they were winding up into the hills. The roads got narrower. The city lights started to fall away below them. Min Jun turned onto a dirt road that opened into a clearing. The entire city sprawled out beneath them, lights flickering on as the sun began to set. Kira's breath caught. "Min Jun, wait here." He got out and went to the back of the SUV. When he opened the trunk, she saw a blanket, a wicker basket, and small glass lanterns. He'd planned this. She got out and walked over. "Did you pack a picnic?" "I said no fancy restaurant." He grabbed the blanket. "Just us." He spread everything out near the edge of the clearing. Kira sat down and he started unpacking containers of food. Korean food. Homemade. "You made all this?" "This morning." He handed her chopsticks. "I wasn't sure what you liked, so I made everything." There was japchae, bulgogi, kimchi, rice, and at least 4 different banchan. "This is too much. Try it first, then tell me if it's too much." She took a bite of the bulgogi. Her eyes widened. "Oh my God. Good? This is the best thing I've ever tasted." Min Jun's shoulders relaxed, like he'd been genuinely worried she wouldn't like it. They ate as the sun sank lower. The sky turned pink, then orange, then deep purple. "Tell me something about you," Kira said. "Something real." Min Jun set down his chopsticks. "What do you want to know?" "Anything. Everything. I know you protect people. I know you cook. I know you saved me." She looked at him. "But I don't know you." He was quiet for a moment, looking out at the city. "I came here when I was 12, he said finally. "My mother brought me after my father died. She wanted a fresh start, away from his family, away from the expectations." "What kind of expectations?" "The kind that turn boys into soldiers." Min Jun's voice was soft, distant. "My father's family runs things back in Seoul, things I wanted no part of. But when you're born into that world, leaving isn't simple." "But you left." "My mother left. I followed." He looked at her. "She worked 3 jobs to keep us afloat, cleaned offices at night. I learned English watching TV while she was gone, made myself useful however I could." "Is she still here?" Min Jun's expression shifted. Pain flickered across his face. "She died 6 years ago." "I'm sorry." "Don't be. She got out. That's what mattered." He picked up his chopsticks again but didn't eat. She spent her whole life being told she wasn't enough, wasn't strong enough, wasn't obedient enough, and when she finally left, she got to be free, even if it was only for a few years. Kira reached over and touched his hand. He looked down at their fingers, then turned his hand over and held hers. "Your turn," he said. "Tell me something real." "Like what?" "Why'd you stay with him for 3 years?" The question hit her harder than she expected. "I don't know," she said quietly. "At first I thought I could fix him. Then I thought I deserved it. Then I was just tired. Too tired to leave. Too tired to fight. And now? Now I'm angry." She looked at him. "I'm angry I let him take so much from me. Angry it took a stranger to make me remember I deserve better." "You're not angry at me?" "For what?" "For stepping in. For deciding you needed help." Kira shook her head. "You didn't decide for me, Minjun. You gave me a choice. That's different." He looked at her like he was seeing her for the first time. "You're stronger than you think," he said softly. "You keep saying that." "Because it's true." He shifted closer. "You survived 3 years of him trying to break you, and you're still here, still fighting. That's not weakness, Kira. That's steel." Her throat tightened. "I see you," Minjun said. His voice was low, intense. Not the version he tried to create, the real you, and she's extraordinary. Kira didn't realize she was crying until he reached up and gently wiped her cheek. "Sorry," she whispered. "Don't apologize for feeling things." The space between them felt electric, charged. She didn't know who moved first, but suddenly his hand was on her face. Her fingers were curled into his jacket, and they were kissing. Slow at first, testing, then deeper, like they'd both been holding back and finally let go. When they pulled apart, she was breathless. "That wasn't part of the plan, was it?" she asked. Minjun's thumb traced her jawline. "No, but I'm not complaining." "Me neither." They stayed on that hill until the stars came out. Minjun walked Kira to her door just after midnight. His hand was warm around hers. Neither of them wanted to let go. "Thank you," she said, "for tonight." "Don't thank me, I wanted to do it." "Still," she smiled, "best date I've ever had." "Good." He leaned down and kissed her forehead, soft, lingering. "Sleep well, Kira." "You too." She watched him walk back to the SUV, watched him drive away. Then she went inside, locked the door, and stood there smiling like an idiot. Her phone buzzed. Minjun. "Made it home. Good night." She texted back, "Good night." Then another buzz. Unknown number. Her smile died. She stared at the screen. Her finger hovered over the message. Don't open it. Delete it. Pretend it doesn't exist. But she couldn't. She opened it. A photo loaded. Her and Minjun at the clearing, kissing. Taken from a distance through the trees. Below it, a message. Cute. Does he know you'll ruin his life too? The phone slipped from her hands and clattered to the floor. No, this was over. Minjun said it was over. Her phone buzzed again. She didn't want to look, but she did. Sweet dreams, baby. Kira's legs gave out. She sank to the floor, back against the door, chest heaving. He'd been there, watching, the entire time. She grabbed her phone with shaking hands and called Minjun. He answered immediately. Kira, what's wrong? He was there. Her voice broke. Tonight, at the clearing. He took pictures. He just sent them to me. Minjun, he was watching us the whole time. Lock your door, now. It's locked. Windows. She scrambled up and checked. Locked. Stay away from them. I'm coming. He said... She could barely breathe. He said, I'll ruin your life. He's not going to stop. He's never going to stop. Kira, listen to me. Minjun's voice cut through her panic. Sharp. Steady. You're safe right now. I need you to breathe. Can you do that? She tried. Failed. Tried again. Good. Keep breathing. I'll be there in 8 minutes. Minjun, 8 minutes. Stay on the phone with me. She heard the engine roar to life through the phone. Tell me what else he sent, Minjun said. His voice was calm, but she heard the fury underneath. Just the photos and 2 messages. She read them to him. Silence. Minjun, I'm here. I'm just thinking. About what? How badly I'm going to hurt him. His voice was so cold it made her shiver. Don't do anything crazy. Too late for that. She heard him take a breath. He crossed a line tonight, Kira, and I'm going to make sure he understands what that means. I don't want you getting hurt because of me. I won't, but he will. Min-jun, I'm 2 minutes away. Stay where you are. The line went dead. 90 seconds later, she heard the SUV pull up outside. Heavy footsteps. A knock. It's me. She unlocked the door. Min-jun stepped inside, followed by 2 men she recognized from before. His expression was stone. Show me. She handed him her phone. He looked at the photos. His jaw clenched. His knuckles went white around the phone. He said something in Korean to his men. One of them nodded and left immediately. What did you tell him? Kira asked. To find out how Trent got close enough to take these photos without my people noticing. Min-jun's eyes were ice. Someone failed tonight, and they're going to answer for it. That's not their fault, it's mine. I should have been more careful. No. Min-jun's voice was sharp. This is not on you. This is on him, and on me for thinking a warning would be enough. What are you going to do? Min-jun looked at her, really looked at her. I'm going to end this, for real this time. The way he said it made her blood run cold. Min-jun, pack a bag, he said. You're coming back with me. Tonight. She wanted to argue, wanted to say she couldn't keep running, but the truth was, she was terrified. Okay, she whispered. 20 minutes later, she was back in the penthouse. But this time, it didn't feel like safety. It felt like the calm before a storm. Kira woke up alone. Min-jun's side of the bed. Wait, not his side. The guest room. She was in the guest room. She sat up, disoriented. Sunlight streamed through the windows. Her phone said 11 a.m. She'd slept for 10 hours. She got dressed and went looking for Min-jun. The penthouse was quiet. Too quiet. Min-jun? No answer. She checked the kitchen. Empty. His room. Empty. The office. Empty. Her chest tightened. Then she heard voices, low, tense, coming from down the hall. She followed the sound to a room she'd never been in before. The door was cracked open. Inside, Min-jun stood with 4 men. They were speaking Korean, fast and sharp. One of them had a laptop open showing photos she couldn't see from this angle. Min-jun said something that made all of them go silent. Then he noticed her in the doorway. His expression shifted immediately. The coldness melted into something softer. Kira, you're up? What's going on? Just a meeting. About Trent? Min-jun hesitated, then nodded to his men. They filed out of the room, closing the door behind them. He turned to face her fully. We found him. Her stomach dropped. Where? That doesn't matter. What matters is that he's not alone anymore. What do you mean? Min-jun crossed his arms. Someone's helping him. Someone with money and resources. They hired a private investigator to follow you. That's how he got the photos last night. Kira felt sick. Who would help him? I don't know yet, but I'm going to find out. His voice was steel. And when I do, they're going to wish they'd stayed out of this. Min-jun, this is getting dangerous. It was always dangerous. Not like this. He's escalating, and now other people are involved. She stepped closer. What if someone gets hurt? They won't. You can't promise that. Yes, I can. He closed the distance between them and took her hands. I've been doing this for a long time, Kira. I know how to handle situations like this. Situations where psycho exes hire PIs to stalk people? Situations where dangerous men think they can win. She looked up at him, at this man who'd turned her entire life upside down in 2 weeks. I don't want to lose you, she said quietly. His expression softened. You won't. How do you know? Because I'm very good at what I do, and because I have something to come back to now. Her chest ached. What happens next? She asked. I have a meeting today with some people who can apply pressure. Make it clear that Trent needs to disappear from your life, permanently. What kind of pressure? Min-jun didn't answer. Min-jun. The kind that works. She should have pushed back, should have demanded details, but part of her didn't want to know. How long will you be gone? Few hours, maybe more. He lifted her hand and kissed her knuckles. Stay here. My men are outside. You're safe. I know. He kissed her. Slow. Deep. Like he was memorizing it. When he pulled away, his eyes were serious. I'll fix this, Kira. I promise. Then he was gone, and she was left standing in the office, praying he'd come back. 3 hours passed, then 4, then 6. Kira tried to distract herself. She watched TV, read a book, made food she didn't eat. Her phone stayed silent. By 8 p.m., she was pacing. By 9 p.m., she was texting him. Are you okay? No response. Minjun, please just tell me you're safe. Nothing. I'm starting to worry. Still nothing. At 10 p.m., there was a knock on the door. She ran to it. Minjun? Miss Kira. It's Jay. She opened the door. Jay stood there with another guard. Both looked grim. Where's Minjun? There's been a complication. Her heart stopped. What kind of complication? Mr. Han is fine, Jay said quickly, but the meeting didn't go as planned. He asked me to move you to a more secure location. Why? What happened? I don't have details, just orders. I'm not leaving until I talk to him. Jay pulled out his phone, made a call, spoke in Korean, then handed it to her. Kira. Minjun's voice sounded strained, tired. Are you hurt? I'm fine. Where are you? Handling something, but I need you to go with Jay, right now. Not until you tell me what's happening. Silence. Minjun. Trent's not the problem anymore, he said finally. The people helping him are. What does that mean? It means they don't appreciate me interfering, and they're willing to use you to make a point. Her blood went cold. They threatened me. Not yet, but they will, which is why you need to leave. Now. And go where? Somewhere they can't find you. Jay knows where. Please, Kira. Trust me. She wanted to argue, wanted to demand he come back, but she heard the Ote fear in his voice, real fear. Okay, she whispered, but you better come back to me. I will, I promise. He paused. Kira? Yeah, He stopped. Just stay safe. The line went dead. Jay was watching her. We need to leave. She grabbed her jacket. Let's go. The safe house was 2 hours outside the city, a cabin, small, remote, surrounded by nothing but trees and darkness. Jay and the other guard, she learned his name was Sung, stayed outside on watch. Kira stayed inside, alone. She tried calling Minjun, straight to voicemail, tried texting, no response. Hours crawled by. She made tea she didn't drink, sat on the couch staring at her phone. At 2 a.m., her phone finally rang, but it wasn't Minjun. Unknown number. Every instinct screamed not to answer. She answered anyway. Hello? Kira. Trent's voice was smug, satisfied. Miss me? She almost hung up. How did you get this number? I have friends, baby. Friends who are very good at finding things. He laughed. Did your boyfriend tell you what happened tonight? Her stomach twisted. What are you talking about? He tried to scare my people. Thought he could just walk in and make demands. Trent's voice hardened. Big mistake. What did you do? Nothing, yet. But if he comes at me again, I can't guarantee anyone's safety. His, yours, your choice. You're insane. I'm in love. His voice softened, sickly sweet. Come back to me, Kira. End this. Walk away from him and I'll forget everything. We can start over. I'd rather die. That can be arranged. The line went dead. Kira's hands were shaking so hard she nearly dropped the phone. She ran to the door and pounded on it. Jay opened immediately. What's wrong? I need to talk to Minjun now. I don't care where he is. Trent just called me, threatened both of us. I need to warn him. Jay's expression darkened. He pulled out his phone and made a call, spoke urgently in Korean, then handed her the phone. Kira? Minjun's voice was sharp, alert. What happened? Trent called. He knows about tonight, whatever you did, and he's threatening to retaliate. I know. You know? That's why I sent you away. His voice was steady. Too steady. His people aren't happy with me, but they're about to be a lot less happy. Min-jun, this is getting out of control. No, it's getting handled. He paused. Did he threaten you directly? Yes. Silence. Then, that was a mistake. What are you going to do? What I should have done from the beginning. His voice was ice. Stay at the cabin. I'll come for you tomorrow. And when I do, this will be over. Completely. Promise me you'll be careful. I promise. His voice softened. Just slightly. Kira? Yeah? I need to tell you something. Her heart stopped. He hesitated. She'd never heard him hesitate before. I'm not good at this. Saying things, feeling things, but you need to know. Min-jun, you matter to me more than I thought anyone could. His voice was raw, honest. And I'm not going to let anyone hurt you. Not him, not his people, no one. Tears burned her eyes. Come back to me, she whispered. Please. I will, I swear. The line went dead. Kira stood there in the darkness, phone pressed to her chest, praying to anyone who'd listen. Bring him back. Please. Just bring him back. Chapter 11, Kira didn't sleep. She sat on the couch in the dark cabin, phone in her lap, watching the screen for any sign of Min-jun. Nothing. Hours crawled by. The windows turned from black to gray to pale blue. Dawn. Still nothing. Jay knocked on the door at 6 a.m. Miss Kira? I have food. She opened the door. He handed her a bag from a coffee shop 20 miles away. She didn't ask how he got it. Any word from him? She asked. Jay's expression was carefully blank. Not yet. What does that mean? It means Mr. Han is handling things. When he's ready, he'll reach out. And if he doesn't? Jay met her eyes. He will. But he didn't sound convinced. Kira took the bag and closed the door. She couldn't eat, couldn't think, could barely breathe. At 9 a.m., her phone finally rang. Min-jun. She answered before the first ring finished. Where are you? Safe. His voice was rough, tired. Are you okay? Am I okay? Min-jun, I haven't heard from you in 12 hours. I thought... Her voice cracked. I thought something happened to you. I'm sorry, I couldn't call. It wasn't safe. And now? Now it's handled. Relief hit her so hard she had to sit down. Trent. Gone. What does that mean? It means he's not in LA anymore and he won't be coming back. Kira's chest tightened. Min-jun, what did you do? Silence. Did you hurt him? No? His voice was flat, empty. But I made it very clear what would happen if he ever came near you again. His people understood. They convinced him to leave. Leave where? Doesn't matter. What matters is you're safe now. For real this time. She wanted to believe him. God, she wanted to believe him. When are you coming to get me? 2 hours, maybe 3. I need to clean up a few things first. Clean up what? Loose ends. He paused. Kira? Yeah? I need you to do something for me. Her stomach twisted. What? When I get there, don't ask me about last night. Not yet. I'll tell you everything eventually. But right now, I just need to see you. Can you give me that? She heard something in his voice she'd never heard before. Exhaustion. Maybe even fear. Okay, she whispered. Thank you. His voice softened. I'll see you soon. The line went dead. Kira sat there, staring at her phone, wondering what the hell happened last night that he couldn't tell her about. 3 hours later, she heard a car. She looked out the window. The black SUV pulled up to the cabin. Min-jun got out. Even from a distance, she could see he looked different. His suit was wrinkled. His tie was gone. There was a cut above his eyebrow that hadn't been there before. She opened the door before he reached it. They stared at each other for a moment. Then she ran to him. He caught her, wrapped his arms around her so tight she could barely breathe. I'm sorry, he said into her hair. I'm so sorry. Don't apologize. Just don't leave me like that again. I won't. He pulled back and looked at her. His eyes were bloodshot. I promise. She reached up and touched the cut on his face. What happened? Nothing. Min-jun. Kira, please. His voice was quiet, almost broken. Not now. She dropped her hand, nodded. He kissed her forehead. Let's go home. Your place or mine? Ours. Something about the way he said it made her heart skip. They drove back to the city in silence. His hand never left hers. When they got to the penthouse, he went straight to the bedroom. She followed. He sat on the edge of the bed, elbows on his knees, head in his hands. Kira sat beside him. Didn't say anything, just put her hand on his back. I almost lost you last night, he said quietly, but you didn't. I could have. He looked at her. His eyes were haunted. If things had gone differently, if they'd found you before I moved you, But they didn't. She turned his face toward her. I'm here. You're here. We're okay. For now. What does that mean? Min-jun stood up, walked to the window, stared out at the city. The people helping Trent, he said slowly. They're not just going to disappear. They're angry, and people like that don't forgive easily. What are you saying? He turned to look at her. I'm saying this might not be over. Her stomach dropped. You just said, Trent's gone, that part is done. His voice was hard. But the people who backed him, they see this as disrespect, a challenge, and they're going to want to respond. To you? To me. Maybe to you. I don't know yet. He crossed back to her, knelt in front of her, took her hands. Which is why I need to ask you something. Her heart was pounding. What? Do you trust me? Yes. Completely. Yes. He looked at her like he was memorizing her face. Then I need you to let me protect you. My way. No questions, no arguments, just trust. Min-jun, you're scaring me. Good. His grip tightened. You should be scared. Because the next few weeks are going to be dangerous, and I need you to stay close, stay alert, and do exactly what I tell you. For how long? Until I'm sure it's over. She searched his eyes, saw the fear there, the determination. Okay, she said. I trust you. He kissed her. Hard. Desperate, like he was trying to convince himself she was real. When he pulled away, his forehead rested against hers. I won't let them hurt you, he whispered. I swear. I know. But deep down, she wondered if that was a promise he could keep. 2 days passed. Nothing happened. Min-jun didn't leave the penthouse. His men came and went, reporting things in Korean she couldn't understand. She tried to go back to work. He said no. She tried to go to class. He said no. On the 3rd day, she confronted him. I can't just hide forever. You're not hiding. You're being smart. I have a job, Min-jun. I have school. I have a life. And you'll have it back. He didn't look up from his laptop. When it's safe. When will that be? Soon. That's not an answer. He finally looked at her. It's the only one I have. Kira crossed her arms. I'm not a prisoner. No, you're someone I'm trying to keep alive. By locking me in a tower? By keeping you away from people who want to hurt you. His voice was sharp. Do you have any idea what these people are capable of? No, because you won't tell me anything. Min-jun stood, closed his laptop, walked over to her. You want to know? His voice was low, dangerous. Fine. The man who was helping Trent. He runs trafficking routes through the port. Girls, young girls. He makes millions destroying lives. And when I threatened to expose him if he didn't back off, he told me he'd make you disappear just to prove a point. Kira's blood went cold. So forgive me, Min-jun continued, if I'm being overprotective, but I'd rather you be angry with me than dead. She didn't know what to say. I'm sorry, she whispered. Don't be sorry, just be patient. His expression softened. This will end, I promise, but I need you to let me handle it. How? By making it very clear that touching you means war. He tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. And nobody wants war with me. Are you sure? Very. She wanted to believe him, needed to believe him. "Okay," she said, "but I need something from you." "What?" "Talk to me. Don't shut me out. If something's happening, tell me. Even if it's scary, I can handle it." Min-jun studied her for a long moment. "Okay," he said finally. "Deal." That night, they had dinner together. Real dinner. He cooked. She helped. They didn't talk about danger or threats or trafficking. They talked about normal things, movies, music, childhood memories. For a few hours, they were just two people who liked each other. It felt like freedom. After dinner, they sat on the couch. She leaned against him, his arm wrapped around her shoulders. "Can I ask you something?" Kira said. "Anything." "Why do you do this? The dangerous stuff, the protecting people. You could just run your business and be safe." Min-jun was quiet for a moment. "Because I was 12 years old when I watched my father beat my mother so badly she couldn't stand," he said quietly. "And I couldn't stop him. I was too small, too weak, too scared." Kira's chest ached. "She left him after that," Min-jun continued. "Took me to America, started over. But she was never the same. The fear never left her eyes. Even years later, she'd flinch when I moved too fast, jump at loud noises, check the locks 3 times before bed. Min-jun, I swore I'd never be weak again." His voice was steel. "And I swore I'd never let another woman live in that kind of fear, if I could stop it." Kira turned to look at him. His jaw was tight, his eyes distant. "That's why you helped me," she said softly. "I reminded you of her." "At first, maybe." He looked at her, but not anymore. "What changed?" "You did." His hand came up to cup her face. "You're not her, Kira. You're stronger, braver, and you didn't let him destroy you." "I almost did, but you didn't. That's what matters." He leaned closer. "And that's why I'm not walking away. Not now. Not ever." Her breath caught. "Min-jun." He kissed her. Slow. Deep. Like he was pouring everything he couldn't say into it. When they broke apart, she was breathless. "Stay with me tonight," he said quietly. "Not in the guest room. Here, with me." Her heart was racing. "Okay," she whispered. They went to his room, lay down together. She curled into his chest, his arms wrapped around her. For the first time in weeks, she felt safe. Completely, perfectly safe. Kira woke up to an empty bed. She sat up, disoriented. Min-jun's side was cold. She grabbed his shirt from the floor and put it on, went looking for him. She found him in the office, on the phone, speaking Korean in a voice so cold it made her shiver. He saw her, held up one finger, finished the call. "Morning," he said. "What's wrong?" "Nothing. Don't lie to me. We had a deal." Min-jun sighed, set his phone down. "There was an incident last night." Her stomach dropped. "What kind of incident?" "One of my shipments was intercepted, stolen by people working for the man I warned off." "What does that mean?" "It means they're testing me, seeing if I'll respond." "And will you?" His expression went hard. "Yes." "How?" "That's not something you need to worry about." "Min-jun, Kira, please." He stood, crossed to her. "Some things I can share, some things I can't. This is one I can't." "Because it's illegal?" He didn't answer. "I'm not naive," she said. "I know you're not running a nonprofit. I know some of what you do exists in gray areas. I'm okay with that." "You say that now." "I mean it." Min-jun studied her face. "You might not like the man I become when I handle things like this. I'll like you anyway." Something flickered in his eyes. Surprise. Maybe hope. "Okay," he said quietly, "but don't say I didn't warn you." He left an hour later, didn't say where he was going, just kissed her and left. She tried to distract herself, watched TV, read, made lunch, but her mind kept drifting back to what he'd said. "You might not like the man I become." What did that mean? Her phone rang, unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her. "Hello?" "Kira." A woman's voice, older, calm. My name is Detective Sarah Chen. I need to speak with you about Min Jun Han. Kira's blood went cold. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. The detective's voice was kind but firm. You've been living with him. You're connected to an ongoing investigation, and I think you might be in danger. I'm fine. Are you? Because the man you're with is connected to some very dangerous people, and if you're caught in the middle when things go wrong, I can't protect you. I don't need protection. Everyone thinks that, until they do. Detective Chen paused. Meet with me. One conversation, that's all I'm asking. No. Kira, please, I'm trying to help you. I don't need your help. She hung up. Her hands were shaking. A detective, calling her, about Min Jun. She should tell him, but part of her didn't want to know what the detective knew. Min Jun came home late that night. His knuckles were bruised. There was blood on his collar, not his. Kira stood in the kitchen, watching him. He saw her, stopped. Don't, he said quietly. Don't what? Don't look at me like that. Like what? Like you're scared of me. I'm not scared of you. She crossed to him, took his hand, looked at his bruised knuckles. I'm scared for you. His expression softened. Come on, she said. Let me clean you up. She led him to the bathroom, made him sit, got the first aid kit. She cleaned his knuckles carefully, gently. He didn't wince. A detective called me today, she said quietly. Min Jun went still. What did she say? That I'm connected to an investigation, that I might be in danger, that she wants to talk to me. What did you tell her? No. He looked at her, really looked at her. Why? Because I trust you more than I trust her. You shouldn't. Too late. Min Jun pulled her close, rested his forehead against hers. This is going to get worse before it gets better, he said quietly. I know. And you're still here? I'm still here. He kissed her, soft, grateful, desperate. And for that moment, nothing else mattered. The detective called again 2 days later. Kira ignored it. She called 3 more times. Kira blocked the number. Then she showed up at the penthouse. Kira was alone. Min Jun was out. His guards were downstairs. Someone knocked on the door. She looked through the peephole. A woman in her 40s, professional clothes, badge clipped to her belt. Detective Chen. Kira opened the door but kept the chain on. I told you I don't want to talk. I know, but I need you to listen. Detective Chen's expression was serious. Min Jun Han is under investigation for racketeering, money laundering, and association with organized crime. If you're living with him, you could be implicated. I haven't done anything wrong. Maybe not, but proximity is sometimes enough. Chen pulled out a card. This is my number. If things get dangerous, if you need help, call me. She slid the card under the door. I won't use it, Kira said. Keep it anyway, just in case. Detective Chen left. Kira stood there, staring at the card on the floor. She should throw it away. Instead, she picked it up, tucked it into her wallet, just in case. Min Jun came home an hour later. The detective came here, Kira said. He froze. What did she want? To warn me about you, about investigations. What did you tell her? Nothing, but Min Jun. She looked at him. Is it true? Are you being investigated? He didn't answer right away. Yes, he said finally. For what? Things I've done. Things I'm connected to. He crossed to her. But they don't have proof, and they won't get it. Are you sure? Yes. And if they do, they won't. But if they do, she pressed, what happens to me? Min Jun's jaw tightened. You're not involved. You didn't know anything. You'll be fine. And you? He didn't answer. Min Jun, what happens to you? Prison. Maybe. His voice was flat. If they can make anything stick. Her chest tightened. How long have you known about this? 6 months. And you didn't tell me? Because there's nothing to tell. They've been investigating for years. They have nothing. Then why are they talking to me? Because they're desperate. He cupped her face. Kira, listen to me. You're safe. I've made sure of that. And when this is over, you walk away clean, no matter what happens to me. I don't want to walk away. You might not have a choice. Tears burned her eyes. Don't say that. I'm being realistic. His voice was gentle. I knew what I was getting into when I started this life. You didn't. And I won't let you go down with me. That's not your choice to make. Yes, it is. He kissed her forehead. I love you too much to let you drown with me. Her breath caught. What did you just say? Min-jun pulled back, looked at her. His eyes were soft, vulnerable. I love you, he said quietly. I've been trying not to, but I do. Tears spilled down her cheeks. Min-jun, you don't have to say it back. I just needed you to know. I love you, too, she whispered. I think I have for a while. He kissed her, deep, desperate, like he was trying to memorize the feeling, because deep down they both knew. This couldn't last forever. Things were quiet for a week, too quiet. Min-jun was tense, always on edge, always watching. His men rotated in shifts. The security cameras multiplied, the guards doubled. Something was coming. On the 8th day, it arrived. Kira was in the kitchen when Min-jun's phone rang. He answered, listened. His expression went dark. When? Pause. How many? Pause. I'm on my way. He hung up, looked at her. What happened? She asked. They hit one of my properties, set fire to a warehouse. Was anyone hurt? 3 of my men are in the hospital. His voice was ice. This ends today. What are you going to do? What I should have done 2 weeks ago. He grabbed his jacket. I need you to stay here. Don't answer the door for anyone except Jay or Sung. Understand? Min-jun. Kira, please. He kissed her. Hard. Fast. I'll be back. I promise. Then he was gone. She stood there, heart racing, knowing this was it. Whatever happened next would change everything. Hours passed. She tried calling him. No answer. Tried texting. Nothing. At 9 p.m., someone pounded on the door. Kira, open up. It's Jay. She ran to the door, opened it. Jay stood there, blood on his shirt. Not his. We need to go, now. What happened? Where's Min-jun? He's fine, but they know you're here. We need to move you. Who knows? Everyone. Jay grabbed her arm. Come on, we don't have time. They ran to the elevator, got in. The doors were closing when Kira saw them. Men in the hallway, 3 of them, rushing toward the elevator. The doors closed just in time. Jay pulled out his gun. Kira's heart stopped. What's happening? War, Jay said simply. Mr. Han started it. Now everyone's picking sides. The elevator reached the garage. The doors opened. More men, 4 of them, blocking the SUV. Jay raised his gun. Get behind me. Kira's entire body was shaking. This wasn't a movie. This was real. And she was caught in the middle of it. One of the men stepped forward, smiled. Min-jun's girl, he said. We've been looking for you. Jay fired. Everything exploded into chaos. The gunshot echoed through the garage like a thunderclap. Kira's ears rang. She couldn't see, couldn't breathe. Jay's arm was around her, pulling her backward. Stay down! She hit the concrete, hard. Her palms scraped against the rough floor. More gunshots, glass shattering, men shouting. She looked up. One of the attackers was on the ground, not moving. The others had scattered behind cars. Jay was crouched beside her, gun raised, eyes scanning. Can you run? He asked. I think so. Good. On 3, we go for the stairwell. Don't stop. Don't look back. He glanced at her. Understand? She nodded. Her whole body was shaking. 1. Another gunshot. The SUV's window exploded. 2. Footsteps. Running. Getting closer. 3. They ran. Kira's legs felt like they were moving through water. Everything was too loud, too bright, too fast. The stairwell door was 20 feet away, 15, 10. A man stepped out from behind a pillar, raised a gun. Jay fired first. The man dropped. They reached the door. Jay yanked it open, shoved her through. Up, go up! Kira ran. Her lungs burned, her legs screamed, but she didn't stop. Behind her, she heard the door slam open, footsteps pounding up the stairs. "Keep going," Jay shouted. Third floor, fourth, fifth. Her vision was starting to blur. Jay grabbed her arm, pulled her through a door into a hallway. He slammed it shut, locked it, shoved a fire extinguisher under the handle. "That won't hold them long," he said, breathing hard. He pulled out his phone, made a call, spoke in rapid Korean. Kira leaned against the wall, gasping for air. "What now?" she managed. "We wait." "For what?" "For him." 2 minutes later, the door shook. Someone was trying to break through. Jay raised his gun, positioned himself between Kira and the door. "When that door opens," he said quietly, "you run. End of the hall. Fire escape. Don't wait for me." "I'm not leaving you." "You are. Mr. Han would never forgive me if something happened to you." He glanced back at her. "And I'd never forgive myself." The door shook again, harder. Kira's heart was in her throat. Then she heard it. More gunshots, but from the other side. In the stairwell, men shouting, something heavy hitting the ground. Then silence. The door handle turned. Jay's finger tightened on the trigger. The door opened. Min Jun stood there, blood on his face, his shirt torn, but alive. His eyes found Kira immediately. "You okay?" She nodded, couldn't speak. He crossed to her, checked her for injuries. His hands were shaking. "I'm fine," she whispered. "I'm okay." He pulled her into his chest, held her so tight she could barely breathe. "I thought I lost you," he said into her hair. His voice cracked. I'm here. I'm okay." He pulled back, looked at Jay. "Get her to the safe house, north side. Don't stop for anything." "What about you?" Kira asked. "I have to finish this." No, you're coming with us." "Kira." He cupped her face. His eyes were intense, desperate. "If I don't end this tonight, it never ends. You understand? I don't care. I don't want you to—" He kissed her, hard, final. "I love you," he said. "Remember that." Then he let her go. Turned to Jay. "Keep her safe." "With my life," Jay said. Min Jun looked at Kira one more time. Then he was gone, and she was being pulled down the fire escape into the night. The safe house was a warehouse in the industrial district. Cold, empty, nothing but concrete and shadows. Kira sat on a metal folding chair wrapped in a blanket someone had given her. She couldn't stop shaking. Sung stood guard by the door. Jay was on the phone, speaking in tense Korean. It had been 3 hours. No word from Min Jun. Kira checked her phone for the 100th time. Nothing. She tried calling him, straight to voicemail. "Miss Kira." Jay appeared in front of her. "You should try to sleep." "I can't." "Then eat something. You need your strength." "I need to know he's alive." Jay's expression was carefully neutral. "Mr. Han is very capable." "That's not an answer. It's the only one I have right now." Kira stood, paced. Her mind was spiraling. What if he was hurt? What if he was bleeding out somewhere while she sat here doing nothing? What if she never saw him again? Her phone rang. She grabbed it so fast she almost dropped it. Unknown number. Her stomach twisted, but she answered anyway. "Hello?" "Kira." A man's voice, unfamiliar, rough. "We have your boyfriend." The world tilted. "What?" "Min Jun Han. We have him, and if you want to see him alive again, you'll do exactly what I say." I don't believe you. Let me talk to him." Movement. Static. Then Min Jun's voice, strained and distant. "Kira, don't listen to them. Don't do anything A sound, like someone hitting him. "Stop!" Kira screamed. "Don't hurt him." The man's voice returned. "That depends entirely on you." "What do you want?" "You, in exchange for him." Her blood went cold. "Why?" "Because hurting you hurts him more than anything else could." The man's voice was almost casual. "You have 2 hours. I'll text you the address. Come alone. Tell anyone, and I put a bullet in his head. Understand?" "Yes." Smart girl. The line went dead. Kira stood there, phone in her hand, mind racing. Jay was watching her. Who was that? Wrong number, she lied. He didn't believe her. She could see it in his eyes. But before he could push, her phone buzzed. A text, an address, and a photo. Min Jun tied to a chair, blood on his face, bruises forming but alive. Below it, 2 hours, alone, or he dies. Kira's hands were shaking so hard she could barely hold the phone. She had a choice. Tell Jay, let Min Jun's people handle it, risk them killing Min Jun in the crossfire, or go alone, trade herself, and hope Min Jun could forgive her for it. She looked at Jay and Sung. They were distracted, talking in Korean, checking their phones. She made her decision. She grabbed her jacket, slipped her phone into her pocket, and headed for the bathroom. "Miss Kira," Sung called. "Just need a minute," she said, keeping her voice steady. She went into the bathroom, closed the door, opened the small window above the toilet. It was barely big enough, but she'd fit. She climbed up, squeezed through, dropped into the alley behind the warehouse. Her ankle twisted when she landed. Pain shot up her leg. She ignored it. She ran. The address was an abandoned factory on the waterfront. Kira took a rideshare. The driver didn't ask questions, just dropped her off and left quickly, like he knew this wasn't a safe place to linger. She stood outside the rusted gates staring at the building. This was insane. She should call the police, call Detective Chen, call someone. But the voice on the phone had been clear. "Tell anyone, and Min Jun dies." She walked through the gates. The factory loomed ahead, dark and silent except for the distant sound of water lapping against the docks. A door was open. Light spilled out. She walked toward it. Inside, the factory was one massive room, old machinery, broken conveyor belts, shadows everywhere, and in the center, under a single hanging light, was Min Jun, tied to a chair, head down, blood dripping onto the concrete. "Min Jun!" She started to run toward him. "Stop!" A man stepped out of the shadows, 50s, expensive suit, cold eyes. 3 other men flanked him, all armed. "You came," the man said, smiling. "I wasn't sure you would." "I'm here. Let him go." "Not yet." He walked in a slow circle around Min Jun. "First, I want him to watch." "Watch what?" The man pulled out a gun, pointed it at her. "Watch me take away the only thing he cares about." Min Jun's head snapped up. His eyes found hers. They were wide, terrified. "Kira, run," he choked out. "Please, run." She didn't move. "I'm not leaving you." "How touching," the man said. He cocked the gun. "Any last words?" Kira's mind was racing. She had to stall, had to buy time. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. "Min Jun, stop bothering you. Trent's gone. What more do you want?" "Respect," the man said simply. "Your boyfriend disrespected me, threatened to expose my operations, made me look weak in front of people I do business with. That can't stand." "So you're gonna kill me to prove a point?" "Exactly. That won't bring back your respect. It'll just start a war you can't win." The man's smile faded. "What makes you think I can't win?" "Because Min Jun has friends too, powerful ones. And if you kill me, they won't stop until you're dead." The man studied her. "You're bluffing." "Am I?" She held his gaze. "You think he built his business alone? You think he doesn't have people who owe him? People who'll burn your entire operation to the ground if something happens to him?" Doubt flickered across the man's face. Min Jun was staring at her. She could see him trying to figure out what she was doing. "She's lying," one of the guards said. "Maybe," the man replied, "or maybe not." He lowered the gun slightly. "Here's a better idea," Kira said, her voice stronger now. "Let us both go. Walk away, and nobody has to die tonight." The man laughed. "And why would I do that?" "Because Detective Chen is outside right now, with backup, waiting for my signal." The man's expression changed. "You're lying." "Am I?" She pulled out her phone, showed him the screen. Detective Chen's number. Dialed. Waiting. "One tap," Kira said, "and this place gets raided. Your men get arrested. Your operations get exposed. Or you let us go, and you fight another day." The man stared at her, then at the phone. "You're smarter than you look," he said quietly. I learned from the best. He holstered his gun, nodded to his men. Cut him loose. They moved toward Min-jun. Kira didn't breathe, didn't move. This was working. One of the men cut Min-jun's ropes. He collapsed forward, barely able to stand. Kira ran to him, caught him, held him up. "Can you walk?" she whispered. "I think so." They turned toward the door. "One more thing," the man called. They froze. "If I ever see either of you again, I won't hesitate. Understand?" "Understood," Kira said. They walked out. The cool night air hit them like a wave. Min-jun was leaning heavily on her. His breathing was labored. "How did you—" he started. "Tell you later. We need to move." They made it to the gates, to the street. A car was waiting, not Min-jun's, Detective Chen's. She got out, eyes hard. "Get in," she said, "both of you." Detective Chen drove them to a hospital on the outskirts of the city. Not the big public one. A private clinic. Quiet, discreet. Min-jun was taken into a room immediately. Kira wasn't allowed to follow. She sat in the waiting area, covered in his blood, shaking. Detective Chen sat across from her. "You want to tell me what just happened?" she asked. "He was taken. They wanted to trade him for me. I went." "Alone?" "Yes. That was incredibly stupid." "I know." Detective Chen leaned forward. "You also called me. That's the only reason you're both alive right now." Kira looked up. "You were actually there?" 3 blocks away with a tactical team. If you'd hit send, we would have stormed the building." Chen's expression was serious. "You took a massive risk bluffing like that." "It worked. This time." Chen pulled out a recorder, set it on the table. "I need you to tell me everything. Who took him? Where? What they said. Everything." "And then what?" "And then we arrest them. Use your testimony to build a case." Kira looked at the recorder, then at Chen. "What about Min-jun?" "That depends on him. If he cooperates, maybe we can work something out." "And if he doesn't?" Chen didn't answer. The door to the exam room opened. A doctor stepped out. "He's stable," she said. "Bruised ribs, possible concussion. But he'll be fine." "Can I see him?" Kira asked. The doctor nodded. Kira stood, walked into the room. Min-jun was lying on the bed, shirt off, bandages wrapped around his torso. His face was swollen and bruised, but when he saw her, he smiled. "Hey, hey." She sat on the edge of the bed, took his hand. "You look terrible. You look beautiful." Tears burned her eyes. "Don't do that. Don't make jokes right now." "I'm not joking." He squeezed her hand. "You saved my life tonight." "You've saved mine plenty of times." "That's different." "How?" "Because I'm supposed to protect you, not the other way around." "Maybe we protect each other," she said softly. He pulled her down, kissed her forehead. "You called the detective." "I had to. It was the only way." "I know." He looked at her. His eyes were serious. "She's going to want me to turn on people, give her names, testimony." "Are you going to?" "I don't know." He was quiet for a moment. "If I do, some dangerous people will want me dead. If I don't, I might go to prison." "What do you want to do?" "I want to keep you safe. That's all I've ever wanted." "Then maybe it's time to walk away," Kira said. "From all of it. Start over somewhere new. Just us." Min-jun looked at her like she'd just offered him the world. "You'd do that? Leave everything behind?" "For you, yes." He closed his eyes. "I don't deserve you." "Too bad, you're stuck with me." A knock on the door. Detective Chen stepped in. "Sorry to interrupt, but we need to talk. Now." Min-jun looked at Kira, then at Chen. "Okay," he said. "Let's talk." Chen pulled up a chair, sat down, pulled out her recorder again. "Min-jun Han, I'm offering you a deal. Full immunity in exchange for complete cooperation. Names, operations, everything. And if I refuse, then I arrest you right now for conspiracy, racketeering, and about 6 other charges I can make stick." Min-jun was silent. "You have 30 seconds to decide," Chen said. Kira held her breath. This was it. the choice that would determine everything. Min-jun looked at her, his eyes searching. She nodded. Just once. Whatever you choose, I'm with you. He turned back to Chen. I want it in writing, full immunity, witness protection for both of us, new identities, new city. Chen nodded. Done. And I want her completely clear. No investigation, no record, nothing. Already handled. Min-jun took a breath. Then you've got a deal. Chen smiled. Smart choice. She hit record on the device. Let's start at the beginning. And Min-jun began to talk. 3 months later, Kira sat in a bland government office, signing papers she barely read. New names, new social security numbers, new lives. Sarah Mitchell and David Park. She tested the names silently. Sarah. It felt foreign on her tongue. Min-jun, David now, sat beside her, signing his own stack of papers. His hand was steady. Hers was shaking. Detective Chen sat across from them, watching. The trial starts in 2 weeks, Chen said. You'll testify. Then you disappear. New city, new identities, clean slate. And we're safe? Kira asked. As safe as we can make you. Chen's expression was serious. The people Min-jun is testifying against are dangerous, but once they're convicted, most of their organization will collapse. Most, Min-jun repeated. Not all. No, not all. Chen didn't sugarcoat it. There will always be someone who wants revenge. That's why you're getting new identities. Why you can never come back here. Kira's chest tightened. Never come back. Never see Bria again. Never go to her favorite diner. Never walk the streets she knew. Everything she'd known was gone. But Min-jun was here. And that was enough. The trial was a media circus. Korean businessman testifies against major crime ring. Witness protection deal exposes trafficking network. Dozens arrested in massive federal operation. Kira watched from the gallery as Min-jun took the stand. Watched him answer questions calmly. Watched him point out faces, name names, expose operations. He never looked at her. Chen had warned them. No contact during the trial. No acknowledgement. It was safer that way. But Kira saw the tension in his shoulders, the way his jaw clenched when the defense attorney tried to discredit him. He was doing this for her, destroying everything he'd built, betraying everyone he'd known, for her. The trial lasted 3 weeks, guilty on all counts. 27 people convicted, sentences ranging from 15 years to life. It was over. They left LA on a Tuesday morning. No fanfare, no goodbyes. Just 2 people with suitcases and new IDs, boarding a plane to Portland. Kira looked out the window as the plane took off, watched LA shrink beneath them until it was nothing but a sprawl of lights and highways. Somewhere down there, Bria was probably opening the coffee shop for the morning shift, wondering why Kira hadn't answered her texts in 3 weeks. Kira had written her a letter. Just one. Chen had promised to deliver it after they were gone. I'm safe. I'm starting over. I can't tell you where or why, but I need you to know I'm okay. Thank you for being my friend. I'll never forget you. K. It wasn't enough, but it was all she could give. Min-jun took her hand. She looked at him. He was staring straight ahead, expression unreadable. You okay? She asked. I don't know, he said honestly. Ask me in a year. Portland was gray and wet and beautiful. They rented a small apartment near the river, nothing like the penthouse. 2 bedrooms, old appliances, creaky floors. It was perfect. Min-jun got a job managing a Korean restaurant. Under the table. Cash only. Nothing that would trigger alerts. Kira enrolled in community college under her new name. Finished her degree. Got a job at a bookstore. They were normal. Boring. Safe. For 6 months, everything was quiet. Then Min-jun started getting calls. Unknown numbers he never answered. But Kira saw the way he looked at his phone, the way his expression would darken. Who is it? She asked one night. Nobody. Don't lie to me. He sighed, set down his phone. Someone found me. Her blood went cold. How? I don't know. Maybe they tracked Chen. Maybe someone recognized me. Maybe I wasn't careful enough. He looked at her. But they know I'm alive, and they know I testified. What do they want? What they always want. Blood for blood. Kira's hands started shaking. We need to call Chen. Tell her. Get moved again. We can't keep running forever. Then what do we do? Minjun was quiet for a long time. We end it, he said finally. For real this time. The plan was simple. Minjun would meet with them, alone. Offer them money, a truce. Whatever it took. Kira hated it. This is insane. They'll kill you. Maybe. Or maybe they'll listen. You don't actually believe that. No. His voice was quiet. But I have to try. Why? Because you deserve a life without looking over your shoulder, without being afraid. He cupped her face. I got you into this. I'm getting you out. By getting yourself killed? By making sure you're free. He kissed her forehead. No matter what it costs. I don't want your sacrifice. I want you. You'll have me in whatever comes next. His eyes were soft, sad. But if something happens, don't. Kira, listen. If something happens, you take the money in the safe. You go somewhere new. You live. You don't waste your life mourning me. Tears streamed down her face. I can't do this without you. Yes, you can. You're the strongest person I know. He pulled her close, held her like he was memorizing the feeling. Promise me. Minjun, promise me. She couldn't speak, could barely breathe. Promise me, he whispered again. I promise, she choked out. He kissed her, deep, desperate, final. I love you, he said, more than I've ever loved anything. I love you, too. He pulled away, grabbed his jacket, and walked out the door. Kira waited. 1 hour, 2, 3. Her phone rang at midnight. Detective Chen. Kira's hand shook as she answered. He's alive, Chen said immediately. Relief hit so hard Kira nearly collapsed. But he's hurt, badly. They tried to kill him, but he fought back. Took down 3 of them before backup arrived. Where is he? Hospital. St. Vincent's. I'm sending a car. I'm on my way. She hung up, grabbed her jacket, ran. The hospital was chaos. Police everywhere. Federal agents, news crews outside. Chen met her at the entrance, led her through the back. He's in surgery, Chen said. Gunshot wounds, stab wounds. He lost a lot of blood. Kira couldn't breathe. Is he going to make it? I don't know. They reached a waiting room. Chen made her sit. What happened? Kira asked. He went to meet them like he planned, but they weren't interested in talking. They wanted him dead. Chen's expression was grim. He called me before he went in, had me position units nearby. When shots were fired, we moved in. You were there? 3 blocks away, same as last time. Chen's mouth twitched slightly. He's smart, reckless, but smart. Hours crawled by. Kira sat in that waiting room, staring at the doors, praying. At 4 a.m., a surgeon came out. He's stable, critical, but stable. The next 24 hours will tell us more. Can I see him? The surgeon hesitated. He's unconscious, but yes, 5 minutes. Kira followed her down a hallway into ICU. Minjun lay in a bed, surrounded by machines, tubes, wires, bandages covering most of his torso, but his chest was rising and falling. He was alive. Kira sat beside him, took his hand. You're an idiot, she whispered. You know that? His fingers twitched slightly, like he'd heard her. But you're my idiot. Tears streamed down her face. So you better wake up. You hear me? You wake up and we finish this, together. The machines beeped steadily. She stayed until the nurse made her leave. Minjun woke up 3 days later. Kira was there. She'd barely left his side. His eyes opened slowly. Found her immediately. Hey, he croaked. Hey, yourself. She squeezed his hand. You scared the hell out of me. Sorry. Don't apologize. Just don't do it again. He smiled weakly. Deal. Chen came in an hour later. All 4 of them are in custody, she said. They'll be charged with attempted murder, conspiracy, About 10 other things. They're not getting out. And the others? Min-jun asked. The rest of the organization? Scattered, leaderless. Most of them are in hiding or arrested. The ones that aren't won't risk coming after you now. It's over. Min-jun closed his eyes, exhaled slowly. It's really over, he said. It's really over, Chen confirmed. You're free, both of you. 2 months later, Min-jun was released from the hospital, still healing but alive. They went back to their apartment in Portland, but it felt different now. Like they'd survived something that should have killed them, like they'd been given a second chance they didn't deserve. One morning, Kira woke up to find Min-jun on the balcony, staring at the sunrise. She joined him, wrapped her arms around him from behind. "What are you thinking about?" she asked. "Everything we lost, everything we gained." He turned to look at her. "I destroyed my life for you, and I'd do it again, 1,000 times. You didn't destroy your life. You saved it." She touched his face. "The man you were before, he was surviving. Now you're living. With you. With me." He kissed her, soft, gentle, full of promise. "What do we do now?" he asked. Kira looked out at the city waking up, at the mountains in the distance, at the life they'd built from ashes. "We live," she said. "We heal. We build something new. Together? Always together." They stood there as the sun rose higher, two people who'd walked through fire and come out the other side, scarred, changed, but whole. Min-jun had sacrificed everything he was, and in return, he'd found everything he needed, a life worth living, a love worth dying for, and a future worth fighting for. Their real names were forgotten, their faces faded from memory, but their story remained. A reminder that sometimes the greatest sacrifice isn't dying for someone, it's choosing to live for them, and that even in the darkest places, hope can survive. Min-jun sacrificed everything he built, his empire, his identity, his past, and he'd do it all again, for her. Because sometimes the greatest sacrifice isn't dying for someone, it's choosing to live for them. If this story moved you, drop a comment right now. Would you give up everything for love? And here's the real question. Was Min-jun a hero or a criminal? Type hero or criminal below. Let's see where you stand. If you want more stories like this, stories that make you feel something real, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.